Have you ever wondered how an image of something can immediately provoke quite a strong emotional response from you? According to Roland Barthes, a French literary theorist in his work The Rhetoric of Images, he discussed three parts to any image: a linguistic message, the text showing what the advertiser perhaps wants you to know for certain, a coded iconic message hidden in the image, an inferred message, in other words, what you subconsciously think about when you see the image, and finally, a non-coded iconic message, quite literally what you see when you look at the image. If we look at a bottle of wine, we see and consciously process first the name of the company on the front label, then we will turn the bottle around and read the blurb on the back about what it might be like, or at least a romanticized version of what the winemaker thought of it. However, we may not have realized it, but what influence our thoughts and considerations of buying it will rest more with the image on the label, as well as the fonts and all the imagery and layout of the label and the bottle in general. Our subconscious mind processed immediately what came to mind when looking at the bottles, and that is why you're now looking at this bottle, not another. For example, a long, slender bottle represents a light, crisp wine, whilst a larger, darker bottle will likely yield a full-bodied, richer wine, likely quite good with red meat, as red wines are usually in these bottles. In fact, some winemakers will add an artificial layer of dust to the outside of their bottles, symbolizing age and maturity, although perhaps more likely with a Merlot than a Beaujolais. Finally, we see what we will describe the bottle as to someone else, i.e., a glass bottle, pulling no inferences from it whatsoever. The most important two parts to the image, or in this case, the bottle of wine, are connotation and denotation. Connotation refers to what the image means to us, subconsciously, the subliminal message. If we go back to the two bottles of wine, the slender, tall bottle of lighter coloured glass would hold a light, crisp wine, white. How do we know that? Is it through past experience? Indeed, thinking about it, we ourselves just know and expect it to be so. The shape of the bottle confers it, so without even looking at the label, we can already know a lot about the wine, or at least an idealistic view of the wine. The dusty red, which is considered wider and shorter, with much darker glass, implies a sense of solidity and richness. Thus we know it is a red that would probably go well with a nice bit of sirloin. The label hasn't told us that, and we haven't tried the wine yet, but we just know. The literal message, however, the denotation, what we would explain the bottle as to others, would include the words to describe it: tall, short, dark, light. But it is from connotation that we get our information. After all, we went to these bottles, didn't we?
Created using Powtoon.